So hi, this is Jeffrey Gurian from Comedy Matters TV, and I'm here with Jeremy Taylor at the Friars Club, who's the producer of this event, Relief for Burma. Jeremy, this is an amazing event. I'm sure you're very excited about the turnout.
Oh, absolutely. Greatly appreciate everyone's support. What Burma Relief does is basically, bottom line, we build dormitories for orphan Burmese refugee children. When they cross the border from Burma into Thailand, before they get snatched off the street and sold as a sex slave, we try to put a roof over their head. So again, be real clear, we build dormitories for orphan Burmese refugee children.
Now, how did you get involved in something in Burma? It's so far away, and there are so many countries in the world where children are in despair. How did you happen to choose Burma?
Haiti, help is on the way. Darfur, help is on the way. Most people don't even know Burma's a country. So, I just see that there's no help with Burma. A lot of people don't even know it's a country. People that know it's a country don't even know where it is. They always tell me it's in Africa. Someone once told me South America.
Americans are very bad at geography. We don't learn things like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, so basically it's trying to raise awareness. We're a humanitarian relief organization dedicated to empowering Burmese refugee children.
Nelly, Rosa, how are you? So good to see you.
Oh, very good, very excited about tonight.
I was so excited to see that you were performing here. Rosa is an internationally known classical pianist who once actually offered to teach me the piano, and I was too busy to take her up on it. Can you believe what a moron I am? But she's fantastic, and she's performing here tonight.
Yes, I'm very, very happy to perform here and to help the foundation. It's a wonderful cause, and I'm really happy for that.
How did you get involved in this?
They called me to somebody who saw me performing in other places, asked me if I wanted to cooperate, and I was more than happy to do it.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you have a big concert coming up, don't you, at Carnegie Hall?
A big concert.
Tell us about that at Carnegie Hall.
Oh, it's October 15th, Saturday at 7:30. And I'm very excited because it's one of the, I think the first time, it's going to be pieces by Argentinian classical composers and Spanish composers, and I will do 2 world premieres of 2 tangos by Piazzolla.
Wow.
Yes, that is a...
Oh,
yeah.
is that one of the flyers?
Oh.
That's great. That's great. Look, we even have a flyer. That's fantastic. So how can people buy tickets? Tell us.
Oh, they are on sale by phone, online.
What site would they go to? Carnegie Hall? On
Hall.org.
.org.
Yes,
okay.
and then the phone number is, should I say the phone number? 212-247-7800.
212-247-7800?
Yes.
Good, okay, that's great. So everybody who watches, please come out and support Rosa. Yes.
Thank you.
3,000 seats?
Yes.
That's a lot of seats.
2,820. 2,820.
I'm sure they'll all be filled. Wait till you hear her play. She's phenomenal. The things that Oz does are, there's no way to really explain them.
Show, not tell. You ready? I've got something everybody loves. I don't know if we can get in low. Money. We're at a fundraiser. This is the plan, Jeffrey. Grab a couple of bucks. Get in here.
Okay.
Singles is not what we're looking for tonight. We're looking for a little bit bigger
money,
bills.
big
Picture
money, yeah.
all of a sudden, we pull up the sleeves. Any good magician, you know, the sleeves, tricky stuff.
Right up, okay.
I snap my fingers, and the next time you hear this noise, look at George. Look right at George's eyes. When I snap,
Oh my God.
5.
Oh, that is unbelievable. That is,
This is Jeffrey, 2 for the cameraman. He was about to drop the camera. He's like, I'm taking the money and running. In fact, this is a trick I taught my fiance, and watch, I showed it to her. And you saw the snap, how they turn to hundreds. When she snaps, she ends up at Bloomingdale's or Barney's with new shoes, and I go back to singles. You see what I mean? She doesn't know the intricacies of the trick. She's kind of just cleaning me out. It's not. Is
that why she's not here tonight?
Yeah, she's shopping right now. You kidding me? I don't know what to do. Jeffrey, I need advice.
Amazing.
I love her, but she is burning a hole in my wall, and I'm not kidding. Oh my God, it's.
Tell me how you got involved with this event for Burma, please.
Sure. I met Jeremy at Sundance, where I was playing George Bush in a production about torture. And
you were playing George Bush?
it's very satisfying. And I guess that the
There
people...
must have been some makeup job. I can't believe that you played George Bush. That's not Barbara Bush, George Bush.
No, I was George. But I think the people who cared about human rights sort of gravitated together there, and Jeremy followed up and told me about the work he was doing with Burma Relief. They've already built dormitories to house girls, refugee girls, and I know how serious the problem is with sex trafficking for girls and young women.
Well, that's your specialty. That you wrote books about that.
I care a lot about it, yeah. And now they are doing something wonderful, creating a partner project for boys who are also at terrible risk of being abducted and turned into child soldiers by the brutal dictatorship of Burma. So these are brave people, and I want to do everything I can to support them.
Now, let me ask you this, because there are so many trouble spots in the world. How do you happen to pick Burma, of all places? I'm sure there are children in danger all over. What drew you or Jeremy to Burma in particular?
That is a great question. And actually, another reporter just asked me that, and I think that a lot of people feel, understandably, like the world is such a mess, there's so much suffering, how do you choose? I think, like anyone, you do what crosses your path that you know you can help with, but also my last book was about tyranny, the destruction of civil liberties, and I looked at Burma as a case study of a completely closed society. They butcher journalists there. There's no free press. There's no freedom of assembly. It's a bloody military junta. There are 3 million people living in the jungle with no rights and no shelter, and it's just a perfect model of how terrifying life is when there's no democracy and no freedom, and it's an object lesson for all of us. So it also doesn't get any press. Jeremy pointed out Haiti, people care about. Darfur, people care about. It's on the radar. Burma is just suffering in darkness, and for all of those reasons, I wanted to come out.
Now, we use the term human rights activist. You would think that everyone would just naturally be a human rights activist, right? Who are these? I mean, but unfortunately, there is evil in the world. Right, and it's so like
well put.
Well, and it's unfortunate, but it's a truth. And you wonder, I feel bad if I accidentally step on someone's foot, and there are people in the world that will just go around just killing people indiscriminately. So, how did you personally get involved in human rights activism?
That's also a great question. I don't have an easy answer. My dad is a Holocaust refugee, so I know that in civilized, advanced countries, people can turn in a heartbeat and feed their neighbors into ovens, and that you have to cherish the rule of law, you have to cherish due process. You can never take those things for granted. I think also I've been lucky to have traveled a lot, and so we're in a bubble here in the United States, less and less of a bubble as our economy collapses, but it's very easy to be protected from a lot of the human suffering in the rest of the world. Also, our media doesn't tend to report on it, but I've had the honor of traveling to places like Sierra Leone right after the Civil War, other conflict areas, and that's how a lot of the rest of the world lives. And the sooner we wake up as Americans and realize we're all part of this global family of which so many are suffering, and what we do counts, right, in alleviating that suffering, the safer and freer we will be. It's not like no one is doing this in isolation. We may think, oh, I've got my house, I've got my car, I've got my life, I don't need to worry about this, but it's not true. If we support bloody dictatorship or tolerate it in Burma, bloody dictatorship comes home to our own shores. And the same is true of, any kind of suffering the human condition is exposed to.
It's a karmic thing, right? So when you stand up for one person, you stand up for everyone.
You are absolutely right, and I truly believe that you keep your family and your community safer somehow, and it may be like on a spiritual plane that I can't prove, by standing up on behalf of people who don't have a voice.
Well, we're very grateful to have people like yourself who do this kind of beautiful work. What is it about Burma? Why are there so many orphan children in Burma?
Well, I guess it really has to do with the military government that rules the country. They're not taking care of their people very well at all, and so they're not allowing a democratic country to. It's not a democratic country, and the government is not allowing democracy. Therefore, there's no free speech,
no free assembly.
Exactly.
No independent judiciary,
right.
No independent union, and because there's a genocide crime and a war crimes happening in Karen State, You know, that's why all the refugees go over to the Thai side, and that's where we get them and try to build that dormitory.
Yep, and all this internal civil war, it just creates a lot of orphans, children with no family, or they're just separated. A lot of them are crossing the border into Thailand as well, and so they're all separated.
Once you build these dormitories, how do you get the children to come and move in?
Oh, they're already all there. There's 450 children at this child's learning center. It's like a settlement, and dude, the dormitory we built for the girls, it's not even close to enough. That's why we're having this event, to build a dormitory now for the boys. The girls are taken care of. They got their teak bunk beds. They got their dorm. They got the roof over their head. They were sleeping on the concrete floor, but no more thanks to the Morgan Spurlock. He did supersize me. He came up with $5K, so we built those bunk beds.
Wow, that's amazing. Are there a lot of Burmese people in the United States?
I think there are some population. There's some communities around the United States, but not too many, I think.
And there's actually a lot in Flushing, Queens, New York. That's where the
right,
Burmese community is.
And Massachusetts.
Really?
As well.
In Flushing, New York, there's a Burmese community?
And in Indianapolis and Indiana, there's Burmese there.
Massachusetts and Springfield. Yep.
Well, on behalf of the planet, I want to thank you both for your beautiful work in helping people. I think it's an amazing thing that you do, that you give your time to do these things. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Comedy Matters TV. It's not particularly funny tonight.
BurmaRelief.org. If you can, you want to help out, greatly appreciate your support. BurmaRelief.org.
And do you have a website as well?
I'm with him.
You're with him. Okay, BurmaRelief.org. Thank you so much for joining us.